are built for this network, for the strong, not the weak.
Is trending for the holiday season, located 1252 Burnham Ave in Calumet City. Being black owned and operated with new items weekly, in store, and even online. And with over 50,000 followers online, you can't miss out. Sales going on till 2022, like jogging suits, hoodies, t-shirts, Jordan Craig, smoke wraps, crisp, sweaters, and so much more. So beat the lines and order online from Style Guys, 1252 Burnham Ave in Calumet City. Contact them today at 708-801-9481. Again, 708-801-9481. Or check them out from Tuesday to Saturday from noon to 7 p.m. or Sundays from noon to 5 p.m. Style Guys, 1252 Burnham Ave in Calumet City. Life, fashion, style. Follow some of the newest styles by Style Guys in Calumet City. Lock in The Style Guys on IG or look them up, thestyleguys.com. Gone wild.
God bless you. The road can get lonely when God tests you. A prayer for my teenage son, nieces, and nephews. Bless me with this ministry gift, so I'ma bless you. And peace to the homie T. Jordan, we ain't forget you. And peace to all the urban disciples, much respect due. Escape the temptations and lust before it gets you. Got a lot going on in my mind, about to let loose. And tell the hood you do it for Christ, watch them to get you. Don't let them dress shoes and suits get you confused. I pay my dues in these streets like you, right after school. I used to blow green and stay on my grind. Them dope fiends used to steal for them 20s and dimes. It's cold out here. Them youngest got the neighborhood shook, they bold out here. It's hard growing old out here. Lock your doors, cause in the trap you get it stole round here. A full clip at hot meals is like gold round here. Cause we survivors, single black mothers, hustlers and riders. Lab rats under attack, they brainwashed. Stole our history and taught us a new one, cause we a threat. Instead of genocide, we in the projects, we projects.
It's me, HRap B, and it's HRap and
Jay, how you feeling, baby?
it's good, it's good, it's good. What's good?
Man, I'm chilling. How was your weekend?
I'm good. Before we even get started, I do this every week. You'll get used to it. Salute to everybody in the background. Thank you for tuning in. This is a podcast. What does that mean? It means it's on-demand entertainment. You don't have to be live. You can just watch anytime you want. You can go to Spreaker.com because this is on Built for This Network, YouTube, Built for This Network, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Deezer, iHeartRadio, Amazon Podcasts, and Podcast Addict. Or you can simply say, Alexa, pull up the end of the bench on Spreaker.com and you'll get it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And then we have to acknowledge our ancestors at all times. Our ancestors are the most important people, as well as our family who is here, but our ancestors watch over us, protect us, and put us in the right positions. That is everybody connected to the party: Whitmore, Patterson, Turner, Cotton, Battle, Harper, Bailey, Shaw, Walker, Thompson, Chris, Lansdowne, Liggins, Duncan, Trotter, Brandon, Brandy, Lott, Wilson, Johnson, Fitch, and the Williams clan. That's me, him, and everybody connected to us. We are always in the building. Now you can talk, Joker.
How you doing, man? How was your weekend?
It was a weekend. It was a weekend. You know how it is. pay the bills and all that rigmarole or whatever they call it. How about what was up with you, man? I ain't seen none of your sexy pictures up, so you mustn't do anything.
Oh no, we had a ball, man. Shout out to Style Guys and Chris, man. I was kicking it with him this weekend.
Oh, that's what's up, man. Yeah, little commercial, you know. You know. Salute to the homie Chris. Salute to the Style Guys. Salute to the wise guys. You, my nephew, and you and my nephews. Style Guys. Talk about that a little bit, man. Tell the people about that. You need to promote your own brand.
Yeah, so Two Wise, a brand in need. Primarily my cousin Jew, my cousin Nut, and a couple of extra guys. It's Two Wise, the brand that's the number 2, Wise, W-I-S-E, thinking wise. It's just a brand about bringing awareness to everything. Like, be conscious about everything around you and be wise to everything. Don't be no fool about nothing.
So in other words, penitentiary rules are in effect. You see, I got a halo. You ain't got no halo. I got a halo. You don't want none of that. Before the show came up, we're going to walk off the path a little bit. Ask me that question you asked me before we went on air.
What was the question about the war, right?
Yeah. Say how you felt, and then I'll tell you how I feel.
Well, I really just didn't understand it. I really thought it was like a publicity stunt on the politician side. Like, of course, it's a real thing, but as we know, they always like to throw something in your face and then tell you one thing and it actually be something else. So I haven't put any full research into it. I do plan on doing it. I just haven't had the time to sit down and do it. But I mean, you said you were going to discuss it with me and explain exactly what it was. Well,
the publicity stunt is kind of what it is. Propaganda. Propaganda is more what it is. This is a white nationalist attempt to take over the world. Vladimir Putin has Donald Trump, in my personal opinion, has him up under his thumb. He has a lot of dirt on him. Donald Trump is a pawn of his. And then you got people who are insanely stupid and blindly follow things, and they don't put any research into things. And I'm going to talk about it a little bit Tuesday. But since we are at now, I'll just say benevolent is 2 words that come to mind. Benevolent and agnostic. Benevolent means it could go either way. I ain't written about it. I have 2 thoughts on this. And agnostic means I don't give a damn. You know, a lot of people are agnostic about God. I don't believe in that.
Right.
And in this time, benevolent would be the word that I would use. Benevolent means you as black people, we can care about this. We can look at this in 2 different ways. The first way is look at how he's going through the Ukraine bombing homes and business offices. That's a war crime. That should let white people know they don't give a damn about y'all either. But black people, this is the way you need to look at it. Out of all this stuff between y'all had the nerve to take African students and push them off the train. So you are getting your drawers kicked into your ass and you still have time to be racist. These are the things that black people need to be realizing in regards to the black people. I ain't worried about that, but this is another way God shows you, hey, don't let them, don't let this fight between them stop you from watching and realizing what's really going on internationally. Russia has a big fingerprint in Africa right now. And Russia, this dude has been trying to take over the world for quite some time. And then people like Sean Hannity and Ann Coulter coming out saying Russia will be the only place that whiteness counts. Those are white nationalist agenda. Anytime you got white nationalists in the world that's turning brown, you have a problem. So you are right by looking into this. You are right by saying they're showing you one thing and something else going on in the background. So yeah, you're right, but looking at it that way. But yeah, so what are your thoughts on what I just said?
I mean, I'm gonna just have to look into it because I've always liked to do my own research. I've never said you were lying anything. It's just I like to have my own opinion about it. And then I think I'll touch bases back on it. I'll make a note to touch bases back on it on our next show because I don't want to sound ignorant to anything. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. And then it also goes back to what me and you used to always talk about. Always pay attention to everything because you don't ever want to walk into a room and not know anything.
Exactly.
People talking about things. Now, the last question I asked you last week is, when did we become friends, right? And say, now I want you to answer this. What do you think about our family, the Pollards, my mama's people, and everybody connected, and the Williams, my dad's people? What do you think of the state of our family right now?
I believe it could be better, but I do believe it is very great.
Okay, talk to me.
The reason I say it could be better is everybody. It's a phone call. Anytime I call on Lorraine, I always tell her, like, first thing I say, I love you. How you doing? And I always tell her, well, a phone call is only a couple seconds away, but I'm unfair within myself because I don't call Rita and do the same thing.
Okay.
I don't call Uncle Rocat. I don't call Theodis. I don't call Pam and say the same thing. You know what I'm saying? I don't call Mike and say the same thing. But I'm the first person that's falling out and, oh, man, I could have, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I say it could be better. But I do say it's great because I have never seen any of them turn me or anybody else down for anything once they do go. Like, okay, I ain't talked to Rita in 2-3 years, but hey, Auntie Rita, I'm down bad. Can I sleep on the couch for a week or two? Come on, boy.
You're gonna get a speech, but you.
Yeah, you're gonna get a speech, but come on with it.
What do you think? How can you improve our family, in your opinion? I mean, like, you talking about show relationships, but I'm talking about
a couple of extra conversations. Just one, exactly what I said. A 5-minute conversation, like, hello, how you doing? Oh man, that's what's up, man. How your grandkids? How this person? This and that. And then that's it. That 5-minute conversation will make so many things better. Because things aren't bad because I haven't heard one time a person go, oh, I don't like this person, I don't like this person. Nobody hates each other. It's just the communication is non-existent at all. Like,
you ain't been listening to me? No, I'm just. Nah, you know what? I think it's horrible. The reason I think it's horrible is because, yeah, we all are only a phone call away. We got Pam, we got Bo, we got Phyllis, we got Rita, we got Lorraine, we got Steen, we got Reese. We got everybody, right? You know, everybody is right here. You got Bonnie, you know, and, you know, her sisters and brothers. You know, we got everybody, right?
Shout out to cousin Lynn, too, man. I talked to her this week.
Yeah, we got Lynn, Eric, right. But see, the thing, the reason I say it's horrible is this. Just like me and you doing this, our group, we don't participate in anything as a group. We do everything individually. We talk to Lorraine individually. We talk to Steen individually. We talk to Pam and Mike individually. As a group on either side, the Williams or the Pollards. We don't do anything. The Pollards, Whitmores, the Williams, Liggins, Duncans, Walkers, the Pollards, Whitmore, Pattersons, Newsoms, what's Connie them last name? Constance. Hampton. See, that's what I'm talking about. Give you another example. What are Dre's kids' name? What's Dre's wife's name? How many times have you talked to Terry? You see what I'm saying? And there's no strife, but there's no unity either. So, you know, that's what we as a community keep. That's where we drop the ball at. See, as a young person, you don't even know some of these people. You don't know any of the Pattersons. You know LaFon because you know on Facebook. You might know Kanisha. You might know Juanica through Facebook. But you've never met them. And when I was younger than you, they were pillars in our communication. And that's on both sides of the family. You have never met, like, you know Leroy, you know Twan, but you don't know their brother Charles. Did you up until this moment? Did you even know they had a brother Charles?
No.
And that's why the situation is horrible. And that's the whole situation that I'm talking about. That is horrible. And that is just a microcosm of what's going on in our family right now. You know, and the families throughout the United States of America. Like, you know the major players. You know the players that are connected to grandma. They used to come around. But do you know Renee? That's grandma's first cousin. Do you know Spring? That's grandma's first cousin. You know LaFawn through Facebook, but you don't know many. You know, I don't know Raven, and that's Carnisha's daughter. I know her through Facebook, and that's why, in my opinion, that's why our community is so tattered, and that's why crime is so prevalent. Because, see, in my personal opinion, and I grew up with some treacherous cats, man. I mean, people from our neighborhood, they were some treacherous cats. But they, even though let's talk about on Sedgwick, Kiel and Hoggy Wolf, and you know all those dudes, Wild Bill, who used to hang out with us. Hey, you know how you know Wild Bill? Because Wild Bill used to hang out with your aunt's daddy. Him and Wolf used to run together, and that's what I'm saying. This dude knew you before, when I was your age when you met him. You was like, Wild Bill. I was like, light-skinned cat? And you was like, yeah, short? Yeah, I say that's your sister's father's best friend. And that's how the community used to be.
I remember I met Wild Bill. He was riding on that bike, and I was talking wild and crazy in the street. I was talking crazy to him. He never really said nothing, but he was just a neighborhood. He never told me who he was.
He didn't know who you was.
Until I think he knew exactly who I was.
Oh.
Because I talked crazy to him. I'm like, man, because we was kids, and we thought he was like the neighborhood crackhead. I'm like, man, go on. We Wild Bill, go with that bike, man. We take that bike. One day, I guess he got fed up with it and looked at me and said, the Lord? No, what's it called?
Pumpy.
Pumpy. I said, he said, Pumpy? Nigga, what's Pumpy?
Yeah.
I barely knew my grandmama's name, let alone Pumpy. He said, this woo.
Yeah.
Oh, you plug. My bad.
Right. At that point, let's leave Wild Bill alone. And that's what I'm talking about.
They say, you got the juice now.
Yeah. Oh, we're going to leave hey guys, we're going to leave Wild Bill alone.
Let's leave this man alone, because it ain't going to look good for me at the end of the night. This word get back.
Yeah. This dude, one phone call away from getting me beat. Yeah. But see, that's how it used to be, man. And see, people like Wild Bill connected to the street. He connected to Hollywood, who you know. He connected to Bookie C, who you know. And if anybody with Hollywood and Bookie C crew would have pointed at you, he'd said, that's Brian's son. And then Bookie and Hollywood would have said, leave him alone. And our families need to be the exact same way. See, I got a lot of deflection because my father's brother Otis, because he was a thorough fellow. You know, I'm not going to use these negative connotations to describe him, but he was thorough. Put like this, once Otis' homeboys tried to jump him, and they shot him in the back of his head. And he beat the hell out of them. And he died 34, 35 years later with that bullet in his head. And that his death had nothing to do with that bullet. So when you're dealing with stuff like that, you people, that's Otis' son. Keep walking. So, but we have to, not just for street purposes, for family purposes.
I definitely see where you're coming from, man. I definitely do, because just like you said, just on family purpose, like me and Peanut and Juju talk all the time. It's crazy how y'all have the utmost respect for Rita, but y'all kids ain't too much ever laid eyes on her. Like, you can't say anything bad about Rita around Peanut or Juju or Candy, Courtney, none of that. But y'all kids don't know who she is.
Well, Candace's kids does, but not.
Kids,
but everybody else know.
The twins don't.
Yeah, but you know they only 3. But I get your point, and that's what I'm talking about, and that's why I say it's horrible. Our relationships are awesome because you know all you have to do. If I lose my job today, if I lose my way of earning today, I can go on over there and Bob Jean Wright and I can sleep on the floor as long as I need to. It ain't gonna be no problems. I can go to Bow House. I can go. If I can get to Virginia, I can stay at Candace's house. You know what I mean? But it needs to be more unity because, and that's the whole purpose of this, so you can understand why we need to bridge the gap. Me and you are going to stand in the gap going forward for this family. Both sides, the Williams and the Pollards, and the people who are connected to us. We're going to stand in the gap. We're going to connect. We're going to play Connect Four. You don't know Terry. Terry's an insanely successful businessman. He lives in Texas. You need to know him, not because he's insanely successful, but you don't want a job. You don't want to work for anybody. That's the number one person you need to be talking to. Terry works for the state government, but guess why he works for the state government? Because he wants his insurance.
I'm about to say to keep his benefits.
Keep the benefits, right. He don't have to. But these are the people. See, that's one thing about the black community, man. See, this is like when me and you used to see me hustling with the DJ joints, hustling with whatever I did, the purses, the mixtapes, the CD. You saw me you saw me run the whole gamut. And what did I do? I said, hey, this is how you can make some money for nothing. I got that from my mother. And that's what, see, I was talking to Juice, and he was talking about generational wealth. People think generational wealth is simply passing down land and money. Information is generational wealth as well.
Down the game.
Right, exactly. Giving you game.
If I give you 50 acres and you don't know what to do with it, you just lost. You got 50 acres of land that you potentially about to lose.
Or you got 50 acres of land. If you don't know how to work that land, somebody come up and give you a number, show you a number greater than you've ever seen in your life. And that's how they beat the black community out of those corner stores, right? Look, you work right next to a corner store. How much money you spending there a day?
At least $5-10 a day.
$10 a day. So it's at least 100 people doing that. That's what and now you talking about $1,500, $2,000 a day going in and out of that store. And they just standing there and wiping stuff down when y'all leave. When we gave those stores away because those people from other cultures came in with their brothers and their sisters, they got a stipend from the government. They got a stipend from the government. They put that stipend together and had $65,000, $80,000 and handed it to Mr. Johnson. Say, Mr. Johnson, sell us your store for $80,000. Mr. Johnson sitting on a nice piece of change because he been doing it for 1,000 years, and his children don't want to do it because it's beneath them because they want to go downtown to get a good government job. Not realizing they father making $300,000 a year at a damn corner store. So these are the things. This is why we fail, because I put you on game. I used to tell baby girl Bria about everything, and I was putting, I told y'all everything I knew. But we should have been, like, if you want to open a store, you should have been talking to Bo. And I'm Bo watching, and she know how I feel. I think Bo is wasting her talents doing something. Bo used to run every McDonald's downtown Chicago. Bo should be in my opinion, Bo should be a consultant to the McDonald's Corporation. She don't want to do it, but I understand. But I think that was her way to turn it into $1 million. But see, Bo is also somebody you can go to if you think about opening a restaurant. She can tell you from top to bottom how to run it. Mm-hmm. So these are, and everybody in our family need to be tapping Bo on the shoulder about something. Phyllis, Darrow, and the other ways. My mama, Rita, Theodis. We got our Uncle Larry. Larry was created inside of all the gangs in Chicago. Larry created a gang that answered to him. That's leadership quality. How do you do that? See, we think the stuff that we overlook things and don't pass them down. Let me tell you something, man. God rest his soul. Your favorite relative, probably, and one of my favorite relatives, Vincent. When Vincent finally got arrested for whatever he was doing, we're not gonna denigrate anybody in our family. When Vincent got arrested, he called me. He rarely called me. We would write. And he would call me every once in a while, but we exchanged information. One of the times he called close to the end, he was like, "Hey," it's the only time he ever asked me to send him some money. He's like, "Send me $20." I said, "All right, it's there." I said, "Hey," he was like, "Man, I ain't trying to come back here. He had worked his number, figured out how to work the penitentiary system. And the first thing I told him was, I said, hey, when you get out, I got you. I know a place that's going to hire you. And when they hire you, everything you ever did in the street is going to pay off. 4 years after he got out of jail, he owned the joint. There was no illegal money involved, but he owned the joint. So when we have these kinds of resources and people, as many young people as we have in our family, you, Juju, Nut, Phil, Sam, Bria, Cassidy, and the twins. That's just under my mama's tree. It ain't got nothing to do with Christian history children and his grandson now. Cap and his 2 daughters. It's a lot of intelligence that we're not maximizing. Dre has like 6 children. God rest one of his children. God rest his soul. Dre's son passed away, was murdered last year. So we need to use the information that each other has and maximize our abilities. That way we won't find ourselves in these situations. So, and we can continue to build, as Juice said, shout out to Juice, generational wealth, because information is power. Anything you want to add to that before we move to the next one?
No. I mean, I totally agree with you, because it's a funny story. Me and Peanut was in the club one time. If he ever see this, he gonna kill me. But we in the club one time, and the dude whooping the security, and then he take my full security to pull him out the club. And I say, man, that look like Lil Mom. No, I said, that look like Boo. Man, whatever. I go, because I think I went to the bar, Pino was standing in the section, then I came back. He said, hey, man, did you see Booby? I said, what?
See? Yeah, see? Booby and them smashing the buddy.
Oh, smoking them. He said, hey, man, did you see Booby? He was just up in here. I said, what you mean? I said, that was Booby. He was clearing up out here.
You see? Hey, I got an even worse scenario. My dad, my grandma's a Liggins, and my granddad is Williams. That's why we got the name Williams. Carlos is my dad's first cousin. So, Mike and Vince was on the prowl at all times. You know what I mean? And wrong, but we were always on the prowl at that time in our life. And one day, me and Mike ride up on these chicks. And Lorraine hit us on the phone like, hey, I need you. This one I used to live on the north side. I need you to bring me whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. We like, hey, shorty, we got to go over to his mama house. We pull up in front of, this when they lived on Hastings. We pull up in front of his mama crib. Mike pull the bag out. Lorraine walk up to the car. And she go, is your daddy named Carlos? She's like, yeah, Mike, that's your cousin. Yeah, so this is why it seems great. You don't even know Carlos. You don't even, look, another thing. Remember the barbershop with Twin? Where you used to show out. You go over there because, I had equity. You will show up with your friends.
Get my haircut. All right, Twin. All right, BJ.
Right, and then, right. Carlos was one of the dudes. Carlos was one of the dudes that used to laugh and joke with us. Carlos Jr. is one of the dudes who used to laugh and joke with us in the shop. Come to find out, Carlos Jr. is our cousin. So, yeah, that's why I say you have to connect. You ain't got to invite people over your house every weekend, but hell, we need to be hooking up at least every 4 months, because enough of that hooking up when it's a funeral thing. That's whack. That's why enough of that. Now, when we talk about family, this is almost a norm, not knowing your relatives, not connecting with your relatives and things of that nature. Everybody got some kind of beef, but we ain't invent beef in the 2K. People that had beefs their whole life. Everybody got a drunk-ass uncle that ruined Thanksgiving, you know what I'm saying? He, act a fool, and everybody like, man, you always mess up. Well, everybody got that. But for whatever reason, after that crack epidemic, we were easily fractured. And I want to know your perspective on family and your generation's perspective on family. Let me hear it.
My And you got to do everything for your family, and always put your family above everything. As I grown older, as a kid, as a kid that was instilled in me, so I felt like this is what I got to do, no matter what, yes or no, I got to ride with him. But as I got older, I realized everybody who's related to you ain't family.
All kinfolk ain't skinfolk. I mean, all skinfolk ain't kinfolk.
And that's just the reality of the situation. Like, I'm not gonna bring up no instance with no person, no this and that. It just you gotta pick and choose who you're gonna deal with in certain situations. Because I got family members that I love to death, but me and them don't see eye to eye. And then I love them to death, and me and them see eye to eye, but they went this way and I went the other.
What about the people? What about your peer group? How do they feel about family? Because I don't see a lot of getting together with family. I see some people like, Ant, his family, they tight, and a few other people.
My peer group, I want to say it's 50-50 because one side I seen people always get together. Like as a kid, I was always jealous of those people that I'm finna go to Mississippi and we're finna go to my family reunion. And I'm like, where mine at? What my T-shirt at with my grandmama name on the back of it? And you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Either side.
I literally used to hate that as a kid because every end of the school year, well, what you rap get into, or it'd be the middle of the summer. Hey, what you want? Or they don't even tell you. You knock on the door, you knock on their house, it's about 12, 1 o'clock. Hey, home? Nah, they went down, he finna be gone for the next couple days.
Hey, man, I took you to Disneyland like 8 times every summer.
Yeah, but it was just me and Bree. But yeah, I used to realize, hurt me, because I'm like, man, why they family so together? And
is that more prevalent now, you think?
Somebody got a quote, but that was back then. As of now, I don't do that at all. As of right now, I can't tell you the last person I heard said they were going to a family reunion. Like, it'll probably be like, oh man, it's 4th of July, and the people you done seen, the people you just left the club with that Friday and 4th of July on Sunday, they there, but no, not no real live, you know what I'm saying? No, I think that thing is completely gone.
Yeah. Like I said, man, that it's easy to point the finger at one thing, but I definitely think that crack epidemic kicked our drawers dead in our ass. Because, to be honest with you, I felt the same way. I haven't been to Mississippi since the 70s. I haven't spent any time in Mississippi since the 70s. We went down there, me, Mike, and Vince, the summer before you were born, and you 28 years old. You be 29. It'll be 29 years since I went to Mississippi. And then we went there, and we picked up somebody. Then we took him over to Tuskegee. We was taking Reese. Reese was moving to Alabama. Me, Mike, Salah, his wife, and his children. We were dropping off his children. And we were dropping off Reese. She was just fed up with Chicago at that time. She's like, I'm out. We drove down there. That's the last time I was in Mississippi. Then we drove over to Tuskegee and dropped her off. And me and Mike got up the next morning. We didn't even kick it. We had an ample opportunity to kick it. And we was like, we woke up the next morning. He looked at me. I looked at him. We was in twin beds. We looked at each other. He was like, you ready? We got up in the morning. The sun wasn't even all the way up. And we were out. So, and that was just asinine. I was 23. I was 22. I wasn't even 23. I turned 23 the next month. And that's the beginning of it, man. I could blame the crack epidemic because families were obliterated at that point. But at some point, we're going to have to start saying it's our fault because, again, man, you don't know Dre. And you know just how tight me and Vince was. That's how tight me and Dre was. You would never know that. You didn't lay eyes on Dre until Grandma died. Remember? Dre was the dude with the dreads. Yeah, that's Dre. That's my first cousin.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you the story Dre told me about the VCR.
got enough VCR story. I got an Ant VCR story. We can tell you that one. Big Illinois.
As you was talking, it made me think about, because I used to hear about people going to Mississippi, but, I was really scared to go to Mississippi because my grandma.
Oh, yeah, Graham? Yeah.
Graham told me birds fly upside down in Mississippi.
It ain't worth shitting on, Jack. But, yeah, man, I remember, hey, man, your grandmother, actually your great-grandmother. Your great-grandmother was living with us, remember, and she had dementia. And I'll never forget it. Me and her was sitting in the living room watching TV one day. And she was like, Brian. I said, yeah, what's up, Graham? She said, don't take your ass to Mississippi. I was like, damn. I was like, oh, it's rough. But, yeah, but that's part.
So at the end, Graham really didn't say too much.
Right.
Watch the TV, eat her food, go to her room.
Yeah, and
Watch
just relax.
That was she was kicking.
And we was just chilling, and she's like, Brian. I said, what's up? She said, hey, don't go to Mississippi. Shit crazy down there, man. And I was like, okay, shit. Oh, damn. Okay. But that's the thing. Those are kind of, but you know what? That's kind of why I changed my show to Black Power Series Tuesday and that's why I do the rapping with HRap Fridays, because we need to sit at the feet of our elders and understand what they've gone through, and that will galvanize family if nothing else. That will galvanize families if nothing else, because we got trauma bonds with friends. You still hang out with people who got you in all type of trouble, but y'all got that bond because that's what I got in trouble with.
That was my boy.
Right. So, but we need to do that with family as well, because, man, my eyebrows still ain't growing all the way back, because me and Dre sat in our crib and shaved our heads once. Just dumb. But that's what me and Dre was doing. Me and Dre went and bought a chameleon. Didn't have no place to put it. Didn't have no cage. We just bought the damn lizard. So it behooves me to know that you don't know Dre, because Dre played such a pivotal part of my life. Even our cousin Dre Bailey. Dre Bailey lived in the project building next to the one we lived in. And you know Dre a little, but you don't know Dre. And that's shameful, man. Because every time you around Dre, you have a good time.
Yeah, that's Dre, my man.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. It's just, again, what we're going to do is we're going to stand in the gap. And that's the best way we can do it.
I definitely would love to do that. And the crazy part about it is I talked to Rita about this a long time ago. Mm-hmm. Because, just like I said, I don't call Rita as much as I would like. I want to say maybe, I need to be hitting my mouth for this. I want to say maybe a year before the pandemic had even happened, I talked to Rita. Mm-hmm. That was about the last time I physically talked to Rita, and we were talking about doing this ourselves. And she was saying that me and her were talking, I was saying the same thing. It's like, damn, you got Caius and Idris. At the time, they were in college, or one of them was in college, and I think one was on their way, but it was like...
Caius is in college.
Yeah, Caius in college, and Idris are what?
He's a freshman, I think, now, and Sailor is a sophomore.
But I was telling her, like, it's crazy how they used to follow me around everywhere, and I had no idea. Like, Chris posted them, and I was like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, Caius and Idris probably both taller than us, and Sailor taller than Bria. I saw her 2 weeks ago. She's taller than Bria.
Man, it was just crazy. And she was like, yeah, we got to really put something together. Then we just got to stick to it, though. Yeah. She definitely seemed like we have to do something.
See, but that's the thing. We can't depend on Rita anymore. Rita's an elder now. Mm-hmm. And so you got elders. You got, at the top of the food chain, you got the ancestors, right? People who've transitioned over into eternity, and they watching over us and making sure we fine, right? Then you got the elders. The elders in our family, they lead the way. They tell me what to do. They like the president. I'm a general at this point. I'm middle-aged, and middle-aged people are the directors of this thing. We the sergeants or the captains. You know what I mean? And what we're supposed to do is direct the family. We're supposed to set up the events. We're supposed to set up the things that make sure we have unity and then I give you the directive, and you and Juju and Peanut, y'all the sergeants and the lieutenants, and y'all get it together, and then we had a party, you know what I mean? And we get to know each other. We love on each other, but we don't do that anymore. And the reason, I don't know why we don't do it anymore, but what I said, we going to stand in the gap. Me and you, we going to take control of this situation, and we going to make sure it's better.
You know what I would love to have? An old-fashioned Uncle Saint softball game.
There it is. So we need to set it up then, because it's free. We can go by batting the ball, and we're going to have a good time, and just like we used to. You know, like Saint, like you said, Uncle Saint, it's 300-400 people out there. I'm gonna have a softball game. 300-400 people show up. None of us, most of us weren't what we were related through marriage and childbirth. But that's what we have to continue to do. Uncle Saint did it, but Uncle Saint is an ancestor now, and at this point he was gonna be an elder. No more elders sit down and watch. And then people my age organize, and people your age put it into action, and that's what we have to do. If we don't do it, we can't blame the white man and all. Nah, man, the system ain't stopping us.
As you would say, this one ain't on the white man.
Yeah, this one ain't on the white man. This one on.
He got a long list, but this one ain't on.
Yeah, we ain't gonna put this one on him. You know, we got a lot of stuff for you, white man, but yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff for you.
Got a lot of stuff for you, but this one ain't on you.
Now, next question I got for you. You know, remember the bad days. We're gonna call it the dark ages. When me and you didn't. When you used to be Tariq shining your gun, and I was Ghost.
Right.
And you couldn't stand me, and you literally told me that you didn't think I even liked you at this period. Now, during this period, you would connect with my mother, and that's primarily the reason we got cool, because that one conversation y'all had, and she said, "BJ." I go, hey, I ain't see Rita right there. He said, BJ, adults don't mess with children. Adults don't pick on children. And whatever it was, that resonated with you. And then we start rebuilding our relationship, right? Now, there seems to be a disconnect with, she says she's a cute elder. Indeed. Now, when me and you had our struggles, you went straight over my head, which was the smart thing to do. And I remember the day that she figured out that grandma was my mama, and you looked at me like, boy, I'm in good. I get you jacked up. That was hilarious. I'll never forget that day. You was like, hold it. She was like, BJ, I'm his mama. And you looked at me like, say something else.
You look how cool I am with this lady.
Right. You looked at me like, I'll get you jacked up. But it still seems to be like you said, you and Rita, you and Lorraine, you and Steen, so forth and so on. Y'all had a connection. What's the disconnect at your age group with us? Because I see a lot of people your age not dealing with their mother. We know of people who have actually jumped on their mother, but they wouldn't do that to their grandmother, but they've actually had a fight with their mother. We got people just doing what they want to do, disregarding their parent. Help me understand the disconnect between parents and adult children and teenage children at this point. But you know, it never, the grandparent thing has never stopped. Help me understand the disconnect.
Because parents weren't parents.
Mm.
You can't have respect for someone you've never seen. Somebody who dropped off a couple dollars on your birthday, who gave you the new George and took this new picture with you. The disconnect happened because, yeah, I couldn't stand your guts. But and I go cry to Rita, or I go cry to my grandma, or I go cry to Lorraine. But yeah, they have my back, or I go cry to Grams, and so on and so forth. They have my back, so I wouldn't get a whooping that night. But they are also at the end of the day say, hey, you know he right. I'm gonna save you for right now. Cause yeah, I don't want to see you get whooped. Don't nobody want no whoopings.
I owe you 2 or 3.
Yeah, Graham. Thank you, Graham. Thank you, Graham. One time I ran over there. She said, "Hey, look,
Yeah.
We should have jumped him. Me and you could have took him, bro. Me and you could have took him. I can't do it by myself, but me and you, we could have whooped that man.
Yep.
Back to the original question, the disconnect, it just, again, they didn't have the conversations. Like a vivid conversation I remember me and Rita having with, this is when I got bad grades one time. He was taking me over to Rita's house. So Rita tell me, like, man, you messing up, woo, woo. And Rita looked at my grades and looked at me and said, come on, BJ, I know you're smarter than this. And my daddy, he was mad. Like, man, this man always, he's like, watch out. Look, I know he mad. He know you smarter than this, and I know you is too. And there's one quote Rita saying, I can't wait till I get $1 million so I can do it. Rita say, I believe in you, and I know you can do better. And you know what's gonna happen? Me and Theoda's gonna be sitting, we gonna get old, and we gonna sit on this couch and go, BJ done sent us another check. And I promise you, that is on my bucket list. Just send Rita a check every month. Like, here you go, auntie. You believed in me. You got this nigga up off my back. And you believed in me. I didn't tell you what I wanted to do. She said, I know you smarter than this. So stop playing these games. And he got the right to be mad. Because he done did this, fucking this. He done got you this. Y'all done been to baseball games. But it's going to be okay. Because you going to be all right. And I said, all right.
Guess why I'm mad at Rita right now?
What?
Because she used to hold my mama while she beat me.
You said what?
But about them same grades. What was all that understanding when I was getting the bad grades?
Now I remember that like it was yesterday.
She used to hold me. Like, hit him again. But you know what? Like, the turning point, like, you know, you said, we talked about how Graham and them used to say you and everything. And you did, you know, like I said, you know, I was tough, and I knew I was. What really calmed me down in that situation with the grades is, and I'm gonna tell you, it's a two-part story. First part is, the reason I was so hard on you is because you were too much like me, and I knew if I let him slide, you know, you were the epitome of give him an inch, he gonna take a foot. Give him a foot, he gonna take a mile. Give him a mile, he be cross country. And I mean, that was me too. I mean, you give me an inch, and I was going to Africa. So I knew it. But what really turned the corner, again, back to grandma, is one day I yelled at you. I think we were at Rita's house. No, we were at grandma's house. And you had did something totally wrong. And I was like, BJ, I started yelling at you. And you got shook. But you were shook and mad at the same time, right? And when you walked away to fix it, my mama said, hey, remember you told me you used to be too scared to talk to me sometime? I said, yeah. She said, that's how he feel right now. And that's when the light came on. So, you know what? I had, you know, again, this is one of those situations, what you just said is one of those situations to where, as something I always tell people, we overlook the good parenting we had. And, like, I didn't pay attention. Like, I didn't do it with you, but when I look at the world, I assume everybody was doing what I was doing. You know, when I look.
You had a conversation about that a while back.
Yeah. So, to hear somebody, you know, but then again, then you hear people talk, and you hear them talk about the bag and all this money and things. I used to give you money, and you know, you kept money in your pocket. I used to tell you ride, you know, yeah, and let you keep the ride, and you used to drive into the barber shop with your homies and get a haircut, you styling out and everything. But me and you would also wake up on Saturday mornings and drive to the NFL Hall of Fame. Or me, you, and Nolan would just get up, and that's how you got in on the thank you, Alfred thing. You hold a door open, you're like, thank you, Alfred, and walk in, you know.
But those are the perfect examples
right.
of disconnects. Like, I can't name 5. I got maybe 10 solid friends. Out of those 10 friends, maybe 2 even had the relationship me and you had, even bad, like
Right.
no conversation, no kicking it. Like, how you feeling today? Like what's up with this? Or watch a movie for an hour and then go, hey.
Let's not talk about movies. We're not gonna. I'm not watching no movies with you. No.
When you pick them.
Yeah. If I pick it, I'll watch it. You've gotten better over the years, but no.
You say, hey, how did that movie make you feel? And you make me think about the movie, or hey man, what you think about this, or what was the lesson you think he learned in this? Like nobody had that, so it ain't even really. It's not really no one. I mean, it's not the kid's fault or my generation's fault.
Oh no.
Cause like you said, I know a bunch of people that don't get along with their mama at all, and I'm like, how? Cause my mama's my rock. Like, mama always been that.
Yeah. Let's not get carried away.
But it's like, how? Like, how y'all talking crazy? Like, me and my mom so close. Me and her I talked to you today, and I talked to her. Me and her sat on the phone for like 30 minutes. I don't even know what we talked about.
Yeah.
Then she called me back for another 30 minutes. I don't even know what we talked about. But it's like,
I live with her. I don't know what she was talking about.
but yeah, it's just people weren't flat out. Yeah, you was mama and daddy, but you weren't parents. You didn't talk to your kids.
Yeah.
Benjamins don't raise children on TV, and then it's just constantly getting worse and worse and worse because okay, like, right around like Bria generation rather, like now they got the TV and the iPads and the cell phones and this, and you got love and hip hop, and this how this supposed to go, and you got little kids getting sold. Then you got they like allowing kids out these Instagrams, which giving them this false sense of life. Like I remember when me, Lil Vince, and Lil Mike, you probably don't remember this. We were watching like a Lil Wayne video or something. I think it was like that Bling Bling video. We was like, man, we used to play the game Bingo. Like, man, that's my car, man. Lil Wayne got all this money. It was like, and it was you and Vince. It was like, hey, don't get suckered.
Yeah, I remember that.
I think we was at Vince's house.
We was at Vince's house.
And we was this was when he was living with Stacy. And he was like, hey man, look, don't get suckered into that. Hey man, look at Lil Wayne. He got these cars. What's wrong with you? What you hate? Why you hating? Hate wasn't even a thing back then.
Right.
Right. What are you talking about, man? But y'all just kept instilling in our head like that's not it. And when you got that conversation and then you got somebody giving you direction, you have no other choice. But even if I keep calling you a hater, and even if you're saying right, even if I'm going left, if you keep saying right, I'm gonna eventually look over there like, all right, let me see what at least he's talking about. And then you're gonna say, oh, okay, they don't have that right now. You got people on Instagram flaunt hundreds of thousands of dollars. Yeah, I got it. They sell that same fake money on Amazon.
Yeah, and I remember that. I remember it took you forever, and I knew you wasn't gonna get it because I didn't get it till late. I didn't get it till I was 20. That's why you used to always be like, "Hey man, why we always got to watch The Godfather?" I said, "Just keep watching."
And it was, I mean, and like doing stuff like that, like even if you go back to that situation, like even with the money and the drugs, that's what made me never try drugs. Because he was like, man, even though they to this day it's been proven they doing it because these fools falling out on airplanes, y'all lied to us and said, hey man, they ain't really doing them drugs. And we believe it, like
they doing it now.
Well, yeah, that's how I say it's proven now because it's have you look up. Rick Ross has had a stroke. This guy, he OD'd on sand. You're like, God, what's wrong with these people? But as a kid, it was nice to hear, like, man, that's not real. And then as you get older, you understand, like, okay, it may have been real, but I didn't need to know it was real at that time.
Yeah.
It's mind control, honestly.
It is, because I remember we used to see. Now looking back, they were drug addicts. My mama, Rita, Judy, Berner, Margot. He was a wino. He drunk. And you were like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to drink. And then you get older, you realize, no, he a heroin addict. But it just wasn't, it wasn't for my ears to know that dude, Calvino, that was his name. Lorraine, on Lorraine side of the neighborhood, it was this dude named Calvino. And every once in a while, he'd go to rehab, and then he'd be clean, be sharp as the board, he'd be clean as the board of health. And then he would come back. A couple months later, he'd be done again. And you'd be like, and then he would always have wine in his hand. So you would, why wouldn't he be an alcoholic? I ain't never gonna drink like that. But it was stronger than that. And they didn't tell us. And that's the thing that's the difference. They didn't tell us about what was going on. And
as I get older, I understand that to the fullest. Because it was a bunch of situations when you told me family members in college and this, and it's like certain stuff just not meant for kids to know.
Right.
That's just not it. Like, it's okay. Like, man, I'm gonna tell my kid, I'm gonna keep it real. Why? Why are you keeping it real with a 4-year-old?
Right. Like,
why are you keeping it real with a person that can barely dress themselves in the morning? Why you keeping it real with somebody you gotta wake up for school that morning? When they can wake up on their own, get themselves dressed, and tap you, then you keep it real.
And then you might not even have to keep it real. I mean, you don't want to make it. You don't want to present a delusional life for a child. But if you're a child, you don't need to know.
But it was like the thing you used to tell me is like the horse with the blinders. They don't see you. I'm only gonna allow you to see this. Then I'm gonna open them up a little bit more. Then I'm gonna open them up a little bit more. Then I'm gonna take them off. And then, hey, you 18, do you?
Yeah.
Like Earthquake say, I'm what do you say? I'm an advisor at this point. I ain't
that's what I told you. Yeah.
I would do this if I was you.
I told you that 10 years ago. When you turned on your 18th birthday, I said, yo, I ain't your dad no more. I'm an advisor. I'm just your father.
This is what I would do if I was in that situation.
I would do this.
Do what you want. But
just like perfect example of what we talking about is Bria's birthday is in December. She went to her mother, y'all mother, and said, "Ma, can I get a tattoo?" And as usual, your mama want to make me the bad guy because I'm the cusser. She don't want to say no, but it's right around your birthday or around either my birthday or your birthday because they back to back. And Bria say, "Dad, can I get a tattoo?" And of course, I was supposed to be the bad guy. I said, "Won't you just wait till December?" She said, "Why?" I said, "You'll be at 18. I can't tell you to get no tattoo. To go or not, you can get it. You don't need my permission in December." And as far as I know, Bria don't have a tattoo to this day. She'll be 25. So, as far as I know, she don't have a tattoo. So, yeah, you just got to, it's just like the Bible say, you raise your children right. I mean, I did, man, bruh. You talking about go left. Bruh, I went left so many times, I thought I was on the right side. She would say, go right. I would go left so far that I would end up in the right place. Like, told you, Ma. Like, oh.
Look how long it took you to get here.
I got here. So I get it. I proved I
proved you wrong.
Hey, so it's a couple of things. Like when COVID started, I wish my mom was alive. I'd have said, like I called Rita. I thought you said the world wasn't going nowhere. Why you trying to go outside? Outside ain't going nowhere. It went somewhere for 2 years. Yeah. Outside ain't going nowhere, Rita. You in there? I see you. I called her. I said, yeah. I thought y'all said outside wasn't going nowhere.
Yep, not a word and stop.
Right. Thanks. That's why I was going outside all them years. Because the world done shut down and I ain't want to mess out on it. That's why I was like, I swear to God, I called Rita the day they shut the world down. I said, outside is gone? Let me get Bailey on the phone. But
and I called my mom. First person I called was Lorraine. And I asked, I said, you need anything? Because they finna shut this joint down.
yeah, I called Rita. I said,
you got anything you need? She said, I ain't shutting the world down. I promise to God, it was on the news maybe 4 hours later.
yeah, I couldn't wait. I was glad. Everything shut down. Oh, they done broke the world? This is why I was going outside. See, and that's how my daddy got his nickname. Because they said he was going to come outside when the sun come up. They called him Rooster. We were right. It took us 3 generations, but we were right. Shout out to my pops. That's how we get down. See, your genius is not identified until long after you die. It took him 40 years. It took him 50 years to recognize we were right. But we were right. Don't make a difference. But yeah, but back.
How long it took.
Yeah, don't make a difference as long as you're right. But this ain't on the list. I was gonna ask you another question, but I'm gonna ask you this: favorite moment, or the moment that you feel the most proud about as you grew up. I'm gonna shock you. Your favorite me and you moment with me. You went, now that was all right. And I got one for you.
Probably had to be my very first baseball game. Because I think about that, my favorite me and you moment. Because
I remember that.
it's when they first opened up the stadium. And I used to say, BJ, the tickets was down low. You said, but it wasn't a full crowd, so you could sit really pretty much where you want. He said, where you want to sit? I said, up there. You was like, what? I said, I want to sit up there. He said, what you was like, no, you're not going to be. I said, look, man, you asked me where I want to sit.
Yeah, we end up.
I want to sit up there. And this, anybody who's been to White Sox Stadium, top. And we got up there, and you were so tired, but you walked out of the stairs. And we watched the game, and we watched the bird fly right across.
No, he flew under us. I was like, you see how we are, boy?
The bird looked like, you literally seen the bird.
You see the top of the bird. I'm like, we could have been.
We could have been at the dugout. We could have got so free. We could have been so close.
Yeah, they was gonna put one of us in the game. We could have got so close.
Right.
We see them, and that bird flew by us, and we looked at his back. It's like that's what a bird looked like flying by, huh?
And then what was the next question? You said my favorite moment. What else?
No, my favorite moment with you. This is the most. I have never been more proud of you in my life on this, for real. And then we gonna shut it down. We on here an hour. We said we were gonna do an hour. Well, my mother, when I was taking care of my mother, you what's that? 12 years ago? What, you 16? Okay, you 16 years old. You know, I was doing a lot of stuff. And believe it or not, a lot of people think I was stressed out. I wasn't stressed out at all. I mean, because, you know, I wasn't stressed out because I never thought, you know, the thought of her dying never crossed my mind. So the stress that people thought I was having, it was kind of cool to hang out with her and talk to her all the day. And one day, I went to the basement, and you would come over there every weekend. I was so proud of that because, you know, you're 16, you trying to hang out with your friends, you coming into your own, but you would come over there and hang out with me and your grandma every day. And the O.J. Simpson thing. But that's our story. But then one time I overslept, and you ran downstairs. She was like, Pop, what's up? I did it. I was like, what? What you do? I changed grandma's thing. I was like, what? And you brought it down there. A container of blood.
Blood. It was full of blood.
I'm like,
Lorraine Reed was there too.
I was like, what?
We was like, I said, yeah.
I did. I was like, and then I went upstairs. She's like, yeah, B did it. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, I was like, damn, that was dope, man.
Well, bro, because you had to wash all up there. We just like, what is he doing? I was up in there. I was like, hold on, I'll be right there. Once we wrap him started.
Stat.
Don't touch
Yeah. Yeah. Ed Norton style, yeah. But yep. I was like, man. That's when I knew, I did all right hanging out this chump. Oh, another one. My next favorite, then I'm going to hit your next favorite, and then then we're going to go. My next favorite moment with you was, we were on our way, our ritual was to get our hair cut every Saturday. You can start that back up if you like. Any weekend, you can start that back up. But I went this week, anytime. But I remember that this is the funniest thing ever happened. Well, this is the funniest thing that wasn't supposed to be funny that ever happened between me and you. We get in the car. We was driving in the white. That's when I had the white car. The white drag, right? All right.
White drag.
That joint was big, Jack. But we driving down the street, and he was like, "Hey, Pop, I got a question." I'm like, "Yeah, what's up?" He was like, "Tell the truth." I was like, "What's that?" "You like Bria more than you like me, don't you?" Because Bria had started hanging out with us a lot. I was like, "What?" "You could tell me. I ain't gonna be mad." I say, "Nah, BJ, she a girl. She need different attention." And you was like, "Okay." And you never brought it up again. I laughed at you that whole day. Every time I looked at you in my mind, I was down. I was like, wow, this dude really asked me. And then one more. The day that you got the flu was hilarious too. That might have been funnier than the Bria thing. You come in the room, it's like 2 o'clock in the morning, and you say, and the irony is, I asked my grandfather the same. No, I asked my grandfather the same way. I got sent home from Gladstone. I had the flu. I said, "Granddad, am I finna die?" And he laughed in my face just like I laughed at yours. But 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, Dad, I wake up. I say, "What's up?" "Don't tell my mama." "But I'm finna die." I was like, "What?" "I can't breathe. I'm finna die." I was like, "Hey, man, you're not finna die." I couldn't laugh at your face. But I was like, I say, "Take a deep breath." And he was like, "I'm tired." I said, "All right, I know what's wrong with you." I say, "Lay in the bed right here. That way your mama won't know." And I'll scoot over. And in the morning, your mama woke up. She was like, "What's wrong with BJ?" I say, "He finna die. He cool. I'll tell you later." "Don't tell my mama I'm finna die." I'm like, "What about me? I don't like you. I can take it that you gonna die. Your mama can't." I'm never forgiving you for that. I can take it. So it's cool that I know you finna die. Just don't let her know. Because we don't want her hurt. You can be hurt, Negro. She gonna be tripping. All right, well, go ahead.
I think another favorite moment is when you got that blue trailblazer. Man, I was so, because you didn't even want that.
No, I ain't even want that joint.
I said, "Hey man, I'm gonna let you pick the car." I said, "Get the truck." He was like, "What you need?"
Yeah, I was like, "No, that's not what I want."
I was like, "Man, I just need room when I'm in the car." He was like, "No, you don't."
Right, I'm looking at you like,
I said, "Man, I just need room. You need to get this truck." And you was like, "I didn't even see the truck." I just said, "Get the truck, man. Just get the truck." You bit the bullet, got the truck. I went to school, my daddy got a truck. Ain't none of y'all don't, first of all, half y'all ain't got there. Let alone we got trucks. Remember my mama friend, Adrian? Her baby daddy had the same truck, but it had the grill on it. So I come back to you, I say, "You got to get the grills on this." He was like, whatever. I want to say maybe, I might be messing up the timeline, but this how it seemed. Maybe 2-3 months later, you pulled up in the burgundy Jeep. Yo, what, nigga? We got a Jeep.
no, that was long after. As a matter of fact, somebody stole the blue truck, and that's how I ended up with the Jeep.
That's why I said I might be messing
Yeah, hey, that timeline, you talking about 2-3 months, that's like 4-5 years.
I say, nigga.
I went, right? Matter of fact, some clown stole my truck from right down the street from where I live now, 79th and Yates. I went to get my hair cut messing with Sneed, man. You know I should have got my hair cut on the south side. I was still paying for that ride, man.
Man, I remember that. I remember coming back to school, I said, oh, so he got the grill on his Jeep, huh? Because remember had the push guards.
The brush guards, yeah.
Yeah, he got that. My dad's gonna pick me up in the new Jeep. What you got now? I say, look. I said they even make it better. The CD player in the back.
Yeah.
They had the 6 CD change.
12
CD change in the truck. What are these CDs in this car? He burned CDs in, he play them. Get y'all.
Hey, funny, man. There you go, Ant. He in the chat room, and then we out. Funny story about that ride. One time, that first week I got the ride, we went somewhere. I don't remember where we was always on the Cape of me, Vito, Ant, the whole crew. I get the ride, man. First night I got the ride, we kicking it, man. This chump Larry, I said, hey, bro, this a new ride, man. That I need to pull over. Don't throw up in my ride, man. No, I'm cool. 2 minutes later, this clown leaning out the window, throwing up on. It took literally 6 months to get that stain off the side of my truck. I watched that car about 400 times. And
you know what? I got one more story. And Peter watching this. I did that to Peter. This is around the time I had just turned 21. Peter had just bought an SS Trailblazer, so he thought he was the man. Matter of fact, yeah, he was going, but yeah, he had bought the SS Trailblazer, but the seats was cracked up, so he was going to get the seats replaced. Luckily for me. So, me and Peter go outside. This one, I just turned 21, just started drinking. We at the bar, they done lined up I want to say about 15, 20 shots. Me and Peter taking them back to back. I'm thinking I'm big dog with Peanut. Peanut been drinking for years. Man, that car felt like it was doing 360s. We left the bar. I put my head out the window. I'm leaning my head out the window. We drive. He goes, I don't even know what made him even say nothing to me.
because you can see it coming.
No, he didn't even know. Not even that. He didn't see me throw up. He said, hey, the police about to pull us over. Don't get the tripping. Now I know this hit. Don't get the tripping because now you're going to know both of us drunk. He said, don't get the tripping. I'll panic immediately. Mind you, I'm asleep. He tapped me, look at me, don't get the tripping. Police want to pull me over. He's the police want to pull us over. I said, the police want to pull us over? All over the bed. That man Peter was mad for about 2 weeks. I had to get a ride home from work for my mama for about 2 weeks. Peter would not let me back in his truck. Oh my God.
Hey.
That man said, nigga, you better be lucky I'm going to get this car redeemed.
Hey. I tried to get Larry back. Ant threw up before he got in the car. It was Ant's birthday. We used to go to this place in Bellwood. I spent at least $90 on getting Ant full that night. And I went to Larry Khan, turned the heat up. The Ant said in the car was hot, and he left something in the thing and threw out outside. I was like, damn it. I was trying to get him to throw up in his car.
My favorite Larry story is, oh, get him.
Yeah, we're going to leave that one for another day.
That man said, get him.
Yeah, buddy.
They gaining on me.
They gaining now. Ant still, to this day, Ant say, I amped him up. I didn't amp him up on that. He amped himself up, and That's my story. I'm sticking to it.
Man, the man has said that 1,000,000 times. I done heard Ed literally say that like, you got that man sent to jail.
Hey, I didn't get him sent to jail. He got himself sent to jail. I got a few people sent to jail, not to him. I should be getting them locked up anyway. Man, throwing up on my car. But anyway, man, it was all as usual. This is the second edition. HRap and B. It's always good rapping with you. And basically, we're going to stand in the gap. We're going to talk about life from the perspective of almost 29-year-old and an almost 52-year-old person. And as usual, man, it's always good to have as they say on the West Side, it's always a treat when players meet. But good rapping with you, man. And if you got anything to say it, and then we out.
Man, peace, love, and to everybody. I want to spend a special shout out to Rita, Lynn. Man, I missed it, but I promise you I'm going to make it up to you because ever since you told me about that first drink story, I've been having to meet up with Lynn. I said, hey, look, I got my liver together.
Hey, you will have a good time. You hang out with Lynn, man. Our cousin, you will never. You have a good time.
Lynn called me. She said, I called my mama, and Lynn picked up the phone. She said, it's Lynn. I said, Lynn? Your cousin, fool? I said, oh, what's up? She said, I heard about you. Where you at, nigga? Let's go party.
Yeah.
I done sent some people down. She said, traffic.
Oh, yeah. Hey. Lynn is a grown-ass woman, dog. You don't want to mess with Lynn. Hey, you're going to have a great time, though. Hanging with Lynn, ain't no such thing as a bad time with Lynn around. She got nothing but positive energy. One of the best people. I used to look up to Lynn when I was a little kid, so it was always good.
They keep my mother and Sean and Holly and Tippin and the friends. Their grandmother died.
I didn't know that.
Grandma Robert.
Okay.
Funeral is Friday. Sean will be tomorrow, too.
Okay, that's what's up. Man, rest in peace to her. Condolences to your family. And happy birthday. Somebody's birthday was yesterday. I don't know. Happy birthday to whoever it is. And peace and hair grease to the rest of you knuckles. But I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Y'all already know. This is the second edition to the HRap and B. We are going to continue to bring this to you as long as we can, into perpetuity, hopefully, until we start getting paid like a man. No, but as usual, salute to the Ghetto Boys podcast, Tariq Nasheed, Nori, Talib, Kweli, Ray Grady, Zoe Williams, Corey, Hope, and Craig Smith, Al Sharp, the Heather B, the brother Clay Kane, the super duper sister Laree Daniel Favors, Dr. Greg Carr, the most informed man you ever want to meet in your life, Professor Karen Hunter, and the Black Eagle, Joe Madison. Salute to Craig Smith and Reggie O'Shea, a.k.a. Combat Jack. And as usual, you have to say this. Dream those dreams and man up and woman up and live those dreams. It's life without dreams flows in black and white. Life with dreams flows in Technicolor and surround sound. And y'all already know if I owe you something, I ain't got it. And if you need it, get it from God.
We lust for that cheese, we lose sleep, dreams of that cream. We killing our teams, they down for this American dream. Them government schemes, they turning us to hustlers and fiends. We hustling trees, the politicians smuggling green. Chasing that cheese, got everybody stressed in the streets. Pardon me for speaking freely, let it breathe. Evangelists preach the congregations out of their seats. They writing them checks for tithes now, as people can't eat. She stripping for change for school, now she giving the brain. She used to that loot, she earning, now she giving them strain. He new to this game, but hungry, so he cooking his cane. He getting that paper, but then they gave him tools to the brain. It's rules to this game, but hustlers never hustle for fame. The spirit of greed is grimy, so we struggle to change. They put us in chains and take away our African names. But if we submissive and don't resist, then who do we blame? It's all a game, man. These Europeans thinking they claim that you a victim of the game plan. You thinking they ain't, you thinking they saints. Remember all them niggas they hang? Killed our women and our children, all our leaders is slain. They gave us Obama, but that nigga was hoping for change. But Zimmerman is killing niggas and he free. Shit is crazy, babies having these babies and getting checked. But keep the child from they pop to rip his heart out his chest. Our rappers was leaders and now they in the booth and the dress. Spitting bull bullshit and making more, but giving us less. They taking our sound and changing ours, dumbing it down. They taking our jobs and homes and they shutting us out. They taking our kids because it ain't a man in the house. They locking us down, but soon they gon' be wiping us out. They told our women they was too independent to need a man. Told our brother he was too insignificant to advance. All a game, man. These Europeans staking they claim, and you a victim of their game plan. You thinking they ain't? You thinking they saints? Remember all them niggas they hang? Killed our women and our children. All our leaders is slain. It's all a game.
We are built for this network for the strong, not the weak.